Hello, gorgeous angel besties. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Rachel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour readathon reading vlog. So you guys know the drill. Every month, I like to do a 24-hour readathon, which if you are new, means essentially I am going to read as much as I possibly can in a 24-hour period before my eyeballs fall out and film it all for your entertainment. I really like doing these videos, particularly in the beginning of the month. I am going to be doing this 24-hour readathon on July 1st, and I feel like it's just a really great way to get your reading kick started for the month. I'm gonna try to get through as many books as I possibly can tomorrow, and I have a really great TBR for this weekend, and I'm feeling good. I always say that in the beginning, and then I fail in some way, but we are going to remain optimistic per usual. So let's get into my TBR, hopeful TBR. You guys know, sometimes I set a TBR and then the next day when I actually start the 24-hour readathon, I'm like, nope, don't want to read any of those books. But I will say, I'm very excited for the books that I have planned for this weekend. So let's talk about those. Number one, I'm excited about this. I'm a little like, I don't really know what to think because I truly do not know what this book is about, but it really needs no introduction. Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. So this is a YA dystopian series. This is the first book in the series. I know that we have an Erin Warner. I know that we have a Juliet, potentially, question mark, and truly that's all I know. I asked you guys in my July TBR if I should read this book, and a few of you were like, oh my god, yeah, do it. So I'm gonna do it. I will do whatever you guys tell me to do. Once again, I have no idea what I'm getting into. I literally do not know what the series is about, other than the fact that it's dystopian, but I do know it's a very iconic series, and I do see a lot of people talking about this series, so I think it'll be fun for a cute little YA moment. I really hope that I like this. Another book that I'm looking forward to picking up this weekend is Five Survive by Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson wrote the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, which was a super fun YA thriller mystery trilogy. This is her newest book. Essentially, the premise of this one is 6 friends go on like a road trip for spring break. Their car breaks down and they quickly realize that there's some, you know, mischievous activity afoot. Maybe they're the target of someone and they're trying to figure out, okay, is someone coming after us? Is someone in the group dangerous? Who is the target? And I'm going to guess by the title that 6 are going into the trip, but only 5 will be surviving the trip. I think this is gonna be super fun. I really like Holly Jackson's writing style, and I love a little YA thriller mystery moment. The next book that I am hopefully going to be picking up tomorrow is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. I read the first book in this series, Once Upon a Broken Heart, I believe in fall of last year, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It's a very whimsical fantasy romance, and I'm curious to see how the second book goes. I have heard that this book ends in a very crazy way. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I love Jax, and I am really hopeful that I will like this book as much or more than the first book. All right, so now we are entering delusion hours, but I do have a couple more books that I want to throw into the ring. I don't know if I'm going to be reading these tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. That's what's so fun. You and I are gonna find out together how my reading is gonna go tomorrow. The book that is on my TBR is The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles, first book being The Kiss of Deception, YA fantasy romance. I do really want to get to this book. I'm definitely going to be reading it in July. It is a priority read for July, so if the mood strikes, I will be picking this book up. And the final book on my absolutely delusional 24-hour readathon TBR is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I am doing a Throne of Glass reread. I love this series so much. It's my favorite fantasy series, and I am on Crown of Midnight now. So if I feel so inclined, I may pick up a Crown of Midnight tomorrow. I just finished Throne of Glass today, so I'm really like in the mood to continue on with the series. We shall see. She might end up being a contender for tomorrow. Alrighty, so this isn't happening. You know this isn't happening, and I know this isn't happening, but we can hope. We can be optimistic, okay? And I think I have some really good reads here. I am excited about every single book that I am holding, and we'll just see what happens tomorrow. I'm gonna try to read as much as I can. You know, no, this isn't real. This isn't happening, but I am inspired by all of these books. I'm very excited by all these books, so I shall see what I end up picking up tomorrow. All right, so that is going to be it for this intro. I am going to go probably to bed, and I think I'm gonna get up maybe around like 6 or 7, and I'll probably just start listening to an audiobook right away. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow once I've officially started the 24-hour readathon. happy Saturday. It is time for the very first check-in of this 24-hour readathon. I started my 24-hour readathon at 9 a.m. and it is now 1:15. So I'm about 4 hours in. I have started my first book. As you guys saw, I started The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart, I think that's what the series is called, YA fantasy romance series. And I have to say, this is going very well so far. I'm actually almost done with it. I have been listening to this all morning and I also sat down to read it a little bit too, and I have less than 100 pages left. So needed to let you know my thoughts before I finished. It is hard because this is the second book in a series, so I can't get too in depth with what I'm thinking, but I'll kind of give you guys my overall feelings. Quickly, if you don't know what this entire series is about, it is this very like whimsical, fantastical world, and our main character is named Evangeline Fox. In the beginning of the first book, her beloved is actually engaged to get married to someone else, and so she ends up striking a deal with Jax, the Prince of Hearts, to help her kind of stop the wedding, and he says that he will help her in exchange for 3 kisses. But truly, that is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much craziness and madness that goes on in the series. Evangeline finds herself embroiled in a lot more than she bargained for, and this world really explodes, and it's just a very, very cool, whimsical, magical, fairy tale kind of story. So as far as my thoughts on book 2, really all I have to say is I love Jax. I love Jax so much. I am obsessed with him. I am less obsessed with Evangeline, I have to say. She's kind of the downfall of this series for me, which is a bit of a problem because she's the main character and we are in her head 100% of the time. But oh my god, I just love Jax so much. He is so fun and so interesting. He's got this very mysterious way about him. He's very sarcastic. I live and die for Jax. But Evangeline has this willful ignorance that I just find, sometimes I just want to shake her. Sometimes I want to be like, Evangeline, be real. Just be real with me for 3 seconds. Like, come on. She drives me a little bit nuts, but then sometimes she has these redeeming moments and qualities that I really like about her. So I don't really know how to feel. Overall though, I am enjoying my time with this book, but the main character is not my fave. So I don't really know kind of how to grapple with that and kind of how to talk about my feelings overall with this book, but I would say it's an overall positive experience. With Evangeline kind of bringing it down, but that's okay. I also want to talk about the writing style. Stephanie Garber's writing style in this series, both with Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. It is gorgeous. It is this very whimsical, fantastical, you know, if you've read this, it truly reads like a fairy tale. It really transports you. This world that she has created is so interesting and just beautiful, and I want to go there, and it's so cool. And there's all these just very interesting magic systems and places that they go. Evangeline was just like hanging out in this little inn, and then a little baby dragon flew in. Like, I love this. I'm having a really great time. I am very curious to see where this book is going to go with the end. Number one, because I've heard the ending is pretty like shocking or a huge cliffhanger or something like that. But also I feel like where things are going with the plot, kind of with what Evangeline wants to do, what Jack is kind of mildly revealing that he wants to do. I'm a little confused and I don't really know what everyone's motivations are, but I am looking forward to finishing this book and seeing how all these things come together. So overall, we are doing amazing, sweetie. I feel like this was a really great first pick for the 24-hour readathon. I flew through this book too. It just, you get right back into the action and so much happens and it's a little bit chaotic. That's another thing I wanted to mention, and I said this about Once Upon a Broken Heart as well. This reminds me so much of Alice in Wonderland, not with the plot, but just the writing style. I just feel like this could be like another story almost in the Alice in Wonderland universe. Very chaotic, kind of reminds me of like the Mad Hatter Tea Party at times, just in like the overall vibes and the whimsy. It's just so much fun. I really like this. I am going to now sit down and finish this book. As I said, I have like less than 100 pages to go. I'm really excited to get to the ending. And then after I finish this, I think I'm going to start Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I'm excited about that book. I'm so curious because I literally don't know what the book is about other than it being like YA dystopian. I have no idea what to expect, so I'm very curious to start that one. So I will finish this and then start Shatter Me, and then I'll let you guys know my thoughts on both. Hello friends, it is time for another reading update. It is about, okay, so it's 3:50, so I'm about 7 hours into this 24-hour readathon. I finished my first book and I'm a third of the way through my second book. So let's go over these books. So number one, of course, I finished The Ballad of Never After. That ending, come on, like come on. I love it and I hate it. I think I hate it because like are you joking? But I think it sets up book 3 in a very fun way. Of course, I'm not gonna say like what it is, but I went and read the synopsis for the third and final book, which I think is called like The Curse for True Love or whatever. That sounds so good. I'm like, why do I feel like this is low-key gonna be the best book in the trilogy, the final one? I don't know, but I'm excited for the plot of book 3 because of how this book ended. Wild, wild times. I do have to say, overall, I really, really enjoyed this book. Evangeline did what Evangeline does, which is annoy me, but she was not so insufferable that it ruined my experience of the book. Overall, I really, really liked it. I had a really, really fun time. I love Jax with every fiber of my being. I thought the plot was fun, and I just liked all of the little elements in this book. Very whimsical, very magical, good kind of romance moments, and yeah, the ending was wild. So I'm going to give this book a 4-star rating. I really, really liked it, and I am so excited to see what happens in book 3. I'll definitely pick that book up like right away when it comes out in October. I'm very excited to see how Stephanie Garber wraps this story up. But this is very good, a super solid book to start this 24-hour readathon with. All right, and then, as I said, I started my second book. I'm a little over 100 pages into this, so I'm about a third of the way through, and that is Shatter Me. I don't know about this one, besties. Something isn't gelling for me right now. I'm only 100 pages in, okay? I'm optimistic. I'm totally willing to let this book change my mind. I'm not even particularly sure of what I'm not vibing with, but something isn't vibing. Me and this book are not getting along so far. The writing style, I will say, is a little bit difficult to get used to. If you've read this book, you know kind of how this book starts out. Lots of repetition, lots of kind of back and forth with our main character in her inner monologue. I understand why that is written the way that it is, but it made for just kind of a clunky start for me. And now I'm kind of in the part of the book where our main character, Juliet, if you don't know what the Shatter Me series is about, YA dystopian, our main character has essentially been locked up in, I'm assuming, some type of like mental hospital. There is a reestablishment that has taken over society and has made life what it sounds like really, really bad. And they have essentially taken, you know, elderly, they have taken people with mental illnesses, they have taken people who are deemed threats and kind of locked them away. And our main character, Juliet, has some type of ability that kills people, or she's a danger somehow. Like, she's not supposed to touch anyone. I think she accidentally touched someone and they died, so she like thinks she's a murderer. I don't really know. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on, but that's the general vibe. And then she ends up meeting this boy in the place that she's locked up in, but then he's kind of part of this like rebellion group, I'm going to assume, and I think they're gonna ask her to, or kind of force her to join their fight against the powers that be. Now I'm in the part of the book where, you know, Juliet is with who I think is going to be our main cast of characters. We have Warner, of course. I believe his first name is Aaron Warner, just because I've seen so many like fan art and Bookstagram posts about him, but he only goes by Warner right now, who I believe is like the leader of this rebellion. And then Adam, who I think Juliet says that she knows, like she went to school with him. He doesn't remember her, or she has a trouble remembering him. That's kind of where I'm at. But Juliet is obviously still trying to figure out what this group wants with her, what their motives are. She's very scared, and you know, she's just kind of trying to survive the current situation that she is in. I don't really know how I feel about Juliet so far. I think that I have to still kind of get used to her voice a little bit. That's where I'm at. I don't know if that is an accurate depiction of how I'm feeling, but I'm still kind of trying to put my thoughts together with how I'm feeling about this book. I will just say, like, I jumped in and I'm not super loving it at this point. I'm kind of just like, okay, but I still think I need some time to get used to this book, this character, and what everyone is going to do and what the roles are. So that's all I'll say for now. I'm gonna hold off judgment for now, but as I said, I'm about 100 pages in. I'm going to finish this book probably in the next 2 hours. I'm listening to the audiobook. Also, the audiobook and the book, they don't match entirely, so don't love that, but I'm going to listen to the audiobook, I think. I'm actually about to go on a walk right now because it's really nice outside. I'm gonna go for a walk, listen to this. I will talk to you all when I am back and give you more thoughts on Shatter Me. Hi friends, so it is time for another reading check-in. I just went for a walk, As you guys saw by the b-roll, it was lovely. And I was listening to the Shatter Me audio book while I was walking. And I have to say, I think we might have something here. I don't think that this book is like gonna turn into a 5-star all-time fave or anything, but I just want to say at the point I'm at now, I think I'm like 60 or 70% of the way done with this book. I am liking it more than I did initially. I think the beginning was a little bit rough for me. You know, choices were made, writing style choices were made, and I wasn't a super big fan of it, but as the book goes on, this plot is really ramping up and I'm getting really excited about the direction that things are going. And Aaron Warner is just like carrying this book for me. I really, really like him. I think he's super interesting. I want to know everything about him. I really want his backstory. I'm very, very curious to see where his involvement in this book goes. Potentially unpopular opinion. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel this way. Adam is annoying. Adam is annoying and boring, which two worst things you could ever be. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel that way. I don't know if I'm supposed to like him. Guys, am I supposed to like Adam? I find him to be a little bit irritating at this point. So hopefully that gets taken care of one way or another. Also, Juliet is a main character who I do think that I like. Here's the thing. Here's one of my problems I was having, and I kind of still am having, honestly. The narrator of the audiobook for Shatter Me, at least the one I'm listening to, I don't know if there's like multiple versions or whatever, but the audiobook narrator is choosing to make Juliet sound like, in my opinion, a 12-year-old, which is not the vibe, you know? She just gives her this like squeaky, teeny tiny little voice, and she's 17, so I get it. It's YA, she's young, but I don't know for sure, but I'm almost positive that this is what my voice sounded like when I was 17. Like, I don't really think much has changed. And if she was 12, I'd be like, wonderful voice acting, but it's kind of throwing me off just how squeaky Polly Pocket she sounds. I don't know. Like, it's a little bit grating. It's not super fun. I'm just not loving that. You know, personally for me, it is bothering me a little bit. I think probably if I was physically reading this, I might like Juliet a little bit more. So I might finish out the book just physically reading and not listen to the audiobook, because yeah, I'm just not loving that. But I will say overall, I think that the plot is moving in a really cool direction and I'm excited. I want to know what's going on. Like, what's going on? What's the 411? What are we doing? I have no idea what's going on, but I'm having fun. That's kind of where I'm at. It's 5:40. I'm gonna go home, but I did grab some caffeine. I need some fuel for the rest of the evening. Guys, I want to read 4 books so badly in this 24-hour readathon. Like, I really, really do. And I'm feeling good. I feel like I have energy. I don't feel super tired yet, which is great. And honestly, by this point, like usually around the 6 or 7 o'clock mark, I'm like getting tired when I do a 24-hour readathon, but I'm feeling good and I just want to keep the good vibes going. So I went to Starbucks and I got an iced grande soy dirty chai. I got a double shot of espresso in this. I've never had a dirty chai before. I'm excited. So let's do a little taste test. Oh, that's fun. I like that. God, I haven't had an iced soy chai in a minute. And with the double shot of espresso, it just like gives it a little of a, I don't know, a burnt taste, to be honest with you, but I kind of like it. I don't know. It's weirdly good. I'm gonna keep drinking this and get the party going. I think my plan for the next few hours, I'm gonna finish Shatter Me, and then I'm gonna take a little breaky break from reading. I have a vlog going up tomorrow morning. It's all edited and ready to go, but I just need to watch it one more time to make sure that like it's all good. And then I am going to get that uploaded, scheduled for tomorrow morning for you guys. And then I'll probably eat dinner. And then I'm gonna start 5 Survive, which I think will be a fun kind of YA mystery thriller moment. I hope that that book is just like unhinged and crazy and fun and stupid, but like in a fun way. You know what I mean? That is what I am searching for. That is something that I really like in YA thrillers, when they get like a little bit just unhinged in a way that is funny and entertaining. So that is the plan for the next few hours. And then who knows, after 5 Survive, maybe I will pick up another fantasy. We shall see. But I'm going to talk to you guys probably in a few hours after I finish Shatter Me, eat, get my video uploaded, start something else, and finish this. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hello besties, we have made it to the 12-hour mark of this 24-hour readathon reading vlog. It is now 9 p.m. and I have some updates. I have one reading update and then one how we are going to be proceeding with this vlog update. So let's do the reading update really, really quickly. I finished Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi, and you know what? I ended up enjoying this a lot more than I thought I was going to. As I said, you know, kind of already what I've talked about. The beginning was a little rough, a little bit shaky. I feel like it was a little bit chaotic. chaotic for me. But once I got further into it, I became very intrigued by the plot. I am excited to see where this series goes. I'm really curious to see Juliet kind of grow, have some character growth, grow into what she has going on and kind of see what she can do with that, what role she's going to play in this world. And I'm just really excited kind of about the reveals that happened at the end of this book. And I'm also really curious to see how Warner is going to play into that. So overall, I liked this book. It definitely has flaws. It's not perfect, but I was pleasantly surprised by how I felt by the end of this book. So I gave this a 3-star rating. I liked it. It's not perfect. It's not an all-time fave, but I'm very, very intrigued and like, I'm in on the series. I did go ahead and order book 2. So that is on its way. I will definitely get to that soon. And I'm excited. I'm hopeful that this series just gets better and better as you read each book and you get further into the story and there's character growth and all of that. But I will say, in the first half, I was like, no. But then once I kind of kept going and kind of seeing where the plot was going to end up, I got intrigued. So I'm definitely in on Shatter Me and I'm really, really excited about that. I'm super excited to continue on with it. And yeah, this was a cute little 3-star moment. All right, so now as far as this 24-hour readathon goes, here's the plan. Y'all, I am making a game time decision. So I unfortunately, I think because I had coffee late in the day, have developed a pretty nasty headache. And I just know that if I keep trying to force myself to read tonight when I'm not feeling super great, I'm gonna be less engaged in what I'm reading. I'm probably not gonna enjoy it as much. So we're gonna do a little 24-hour readathon reading vlog remix. And instead of doing the traditional read as much as you can in a 24-hour period, which is what I, intended to do, I am going to do the reading one day for 12 hours and then reading the next day for 12 hours. Put that together, what do you get? A 24-hour readathon, right? Who can say otherwise? So I read today for 12 hours. As I said, it is now 9 o'clock and I think I maybe took like a 30-minute break to watch my vlog and post it. So my plan is to, right now, I'm gonna like take off my makeup, maybe take a bath and then go to bed and wake up tomorrow and do this all over again. So I will get up early tomorrow and just start reading and I will hopefully be able to fit in 2 more books into this 24-hour readathon reading vlog. Hope you guys are cool with that. I just really want to feel better when I'm reading. I mean, if I'm not feeling good, I just know I'm gonna be less engaged in what I'm reading and that is no fun for anyone. I am going to talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm very excited to start fresh tomorrow, get some good reading done and continue on with this 24-hour readathon reading vlog. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hi besties! So I am officially in part 2 of this 24-hour readathon reading vlog. I got up at 9 a.m. this morning and started reading and I'm just gonna try to read as much as I possibly can until 9 p.m. tonight. So this morning I got up, I went and got coffee, I went for a walk and I've just been getting ready. All the while I've been listening to my 3rd book of this readathon, which is 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I just have to say straight up front, this is such a fun book. Oh my god. I'm actually in like a very tense part right now, so I really want to get back to this book, but it has been such a wonderful just kind of change up from the fantasy that I've been reading, a little palate cleansing moment, and it's really, really good. Like I'm very gripped, I'm very in on this story, and I'm super excited to see what the plot twists are going to be. So as I had previously mentioned, this is a YA thriller. 6 friends go on this RV road trip, spring break, and the RV ends up breaking down in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night, and they quickly realize that this was not an accident. They have been targeted. There's somebody who wants them dead, and there's lots of secrets going on. So it's a very tense situation because these 6 friends are all trapped in this RV and there's someone on the outside who, as I said, wants them dead, and they are kind of going through the motions of trying to think of a way to escape and then kind of losing faith in one another. They've started accusing each other of maybe being involved. Is somebody here helping out the person on the outside? Are they all victims? Is there one specific target? It's very intense. It's very good. I just really like the setup of them being trapped in an RV. They're trying all of these different ways to figure out what they can do to save themselves, but it's looking pretty bleak. Like I don't really think that there's anything that they can do other than someone fessing up to something if one of the 6 friends is involved. And then obviously it says 5 survive, so someone isn't gonna make it. And I just think that this book is really, really fun. It's super engaging. Our main character is Red. She's, obviously one of the 6 friends, and she definitely has a lot of secrets, but I feel like she is a red herring, pun intended, because I don't know. It seems too easy for it to be her. We've been given all of these kind of different options of who could potentially potentially have something to do with this. Who has secrets? It seems that most people do, and I don't know, it's just been super engaging, super fun, a really great audiobook as well. So I think that's going to be it for my first check-in of this day. I am about 5 hours in, so I have 7 hours left, and I'm just excited to keep reading. So once I finish this, I think I'm going to start The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles. It's a YA fantasy romance trilogy, and I'm really excited to read this, to dive back into some fanro. It'll be a good time. So I'm going to finish 5 Survive. I'm going to start The Heart of Betrayal. I think I'm going to eat something, and then I will talk to you guys later with more reading updates. Hello besties, I am coming to you at about 5:20 p.m., which means I have less than 4 hours until my 24-hour readathon time is up. But I did finish 5 Survive, so I wanted to talk about that really quick. And then I've also started my last book that I will be reading for this readathon, and I also have a little bit of a bookish unboxing that I am so excited about. I've been waiting for this for so long, so I'm really excited to show you all. So I finished 5 Survive a couple of hours ago, and I thought that this was really fun. I thought it was cute. I thought it was entertaining. I thought that it served its purpose for me very well. I was thoroughly engrossed in the story. I feel like we cast a lot of doubt on a lot of different characters, and I really enjoyed the build-up, the, you know, kind of turning on each other, the being stuck, survival situations that happen. I was really into that. I think that that's like endlessly entertaining. I will say though, the twist at the end, you know, the big reveal, it was kind of like, at first I was like, okay, like, sure. But then we just kept getting more and more twists, and I was like, okay, I'm good, I'm done, I don't need any more twists. And then another twist would come and I'd be like, oh my god, okay. I'm not judging super harshly on that because it's a YA thriller, and I feel like there are often times where YA thriller plot twists and reveals are a little bit convoluted, you know, in my opinion. So I'm not super mad at it. I'm not like, oh my god, that was the worst plot twist ever. It was just a bit dramatic and over the top at times for me. So I gave this a 3.5 star rating. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I had a great time. The buildup was fantastic, really entertaining, super gripping. Plot twists were a little silly and a little goofy. So I feel like a 3.5 star rating is honestly pretty good for what a YA thriller is going to be for me. But I was thoroughly entertained by this. I think if you like YA thrillers, this is a really good one. And then I have, of course, started my last book for this 24-hour readathon, which is The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles, YA fantasy romance. And this is just such a classic, like 2015 fantasy romance love triangle. I'm here for it. It's a really good time. I definitely have my favorite. I definitely have my person that I want our girl Leah to end up with. We shall see if she listens to me. I am thoroughly entertained by this. I really like our main character Leah. I feel like we have a pretty interesting magic system, and I will say both of the guys are, you know, they're charming me here and there, but I definitely have one that I prefer. I think that I'll probably end up finishing this right up to 9 o'clock, so that is perfect, but I'm having a good time with this. I'm excited to see what else happens. All right, so now it is time for the very exciting unboxing. Literally meant to unbox this multiple times yesterday during my check-ins, but my brain, you know, she forgot. This is an interesting bookish unboxing because it is page overlays by the Dusty Shop. The Dusty Shop is a shop on Instagram. They make a lot of like bookish items, merchandise, and they have made some dust jackets, ACOTAR dust jackets that I have. They're like the all black ones and then just have an image in the center. They also make Throne of Glass dust jackets. I don't have those ones though, but these are Throne of Glass page overlays, and these are just for the first book, like the actual book, Throne of Glass. So the Dusty Shop is planning on making 8 page overlays for each book in the Throne of Glass series. So that means there's going to be 64 page overlays. She can do math. And I think that that's so exciting and really cool. I thought that maybe they were just gonna do like 1 or 2 per book when they announced this, but no, they did 8 just for Throne of Glass. So I am very excited. I'm going to open these. I honestly don't really remember what they look like. They are potentially spoilery, so if you haven't read Throne of Glass, if you don't want to know anything about it, just go ahead and skip ahead a little bit, and I'm just going to show them though, but I truly don't remember what they look like, so they may or may not be spoilery. They're just obviously going to be images from the book, but you know, that could definitely spoil you potentially if you're somebody who doesn't want to know a thing. So you have been warned. So all right, I remembered this one. This is so beautiful. This is the first page overlay, and I believe you're actually supposed to fold it in between 2 pages. Here is one as well. Hopefully you guys can see that. We have that. Selena there. This is so pretty, you guys. Oh my god, this is so much more detailed. I truly don't remember. I didn't remember exactly what these were going to be, but they're so detailed. Wow. Oh my gosh. And then this is another kind of like 2 page spread. And then Oh, this is like kind of like a ballroom scene. So beautiful. Oh my God, Ivy just jumped onto the page. Overlays, cool. I saved them quickly, but she did get her grubby little paws on them. So that was very exciting. I'm gonna go put those into one of my many editions of Throne of Glass. Don't know which one yet, but I will probably talk to you guys honestly once I finish The Heart of Betrayal. I'll wrap this 24-hour readathon up and we'll have a grand old time. So I'll talk to you guys in a few hours. Hello, my loves. It is time to close out this 24-hour readathon reading vlog. So last night, right around 9 p.m., I think even a couple minutes after, I ended up finishing The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson, and that means that I read 4 books during this 24-hour readathon. So a super successful 24-hour readathon. I had a really good time. I'm walking away with some books that I'm really excited about, but let's talk about The Heart of Betrayal first, because I am experiencing a bit of a betrayal of my own. I don't know what it is, but the first half of this book, maybe even like the first third, I was like, ooh, this is fun. We're back in this world. I'm excited. These characters, we have this love triangle. Like, I was into it. Like, you guys saw me yesterday. I was excited about this book. I was really, really looking forward to just seeing what else was going to happen with these characters, with this romance plot, all of that. But I have to say, as the book went on, I found it to be a lot less engaging and a lot less interesting than I thought it was going to be. Book 1 for me was nonstop fun. Like, it's a YA fantasy romance, it's not perfect, whatever, but I thought it was a really good time and there was a lot of interesting character dynamics and the plot was like interesting enough. While I do think that the beginning of this book and the setup, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm here for this. As the book went on, I started to get a little bit bored. And that really makes me sad because this is a YA fantasy romance that I really thought like I was gonna love the whole trilogy. I truly thought that the second book was gonna be better than book 1. Like, that was kind of the mindset I had going in. But, you know, I actually think that I preferred book 1. I will say The Heart of Betrayal has a very exciting ending, and I do think that it sets up the final book, which I believe is called The Beauty of Darkness, in a cool way. And I'm 100% going to read the finale, and then, I don't know, hopefully I'll really like that and I'll have just kind of like an overall maybe 4-star feeling for the entire trilogy. But I just was not as thrilled by this book as I was the first one. The first one, I was so excited. I almost gave that book a 5-star. Like, I really, really liked it. The Heart of Betrayal, I thought it was like good. I was not disliking my experience, but I was not as excited about it, and I kind of just was a little bit bored. The ending was cool, as I said, but I just feel like maybe it's got a little bit of middle book syndrome for me. I just didn't think that this book stood up to the first book very well. So I'm a little bit sad about that. So I'm gonna give The Heart of Betrayal 3 stars. You know, 3 stars for me is I liked it. It's not gonna be super, super memorable, but I did enjoy myself. I've got some issues. It was okay. So that is my final reading check-in. I have to say, I had a really good time doing this 24-hour readathon. The star of the weekend for me was The Ballad of Never After. I really think that that book is just so much fun, so whimsical. I love Stephanie Garber's writing style. I thought that that book, even though the ending is super crazy, like, I'm super excited to see what happens in the finale, which comes out in October or November, I think. I'm so excited to pick that up. Also was pretty surprised by Shatter Me. I gave it a 3-star, but that's just because I know this is a longer series, and I do think that the beginning was a little bit shaky, but I am intrigued by this plot. I'm excited to see what it has in store for me moving forward. And then 5 Survive. It was a very good time, 3.5 stars, super entertaining, really, really engaging all the way through. The plot twists at the end were a little, you know, they were a little out there, but overall, I think it was a very good time. And then finished off with The Heart of Betrayal, 3 stars, a little bit disappointing, but I'm not mad about it. I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe this series isn't gonna be an all-time favorite, but I still overall really enjoyed it. I feel like even though I didn't intend to do the 12-hour and 12-hour, kind of like 24 and 48-hour readathon style, I actually think it's a really nice way to do a 24-hour readathon. It's a lot better on your brain, I feel like. I think it's a lot more like relaxed and chill, and I don't know, I might do that in the future again, just because it's nice to kind of have that break and step away for like an entire evening and go to sleep and wake up and start refreshed and do it the next day. So that might be something that I do again in the future because I had a really, really good time with it. So if you made it to this point in the video and you wanted to let me know, go ahead and leave the fox emoji for Evangeline Fox. Please make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Goodreads. Both are always linked down below. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. I love you all so, so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.